This gray wolf encounter video starts off with owls and a story about another wolf encounter earlier on. I'd been hunkered down in my camera blind for some time already, waiting for dusk, the time for great horned owls to begin their day. With cloud cover hiding the sun as it approached the horizon, a couple of early food deliveries were made to the growing owlets, patiently waiting in their tree trunk nest. As I sometimes do, I stayed in the blind as darkness fell, just listening to the sounds of the night. Shortly before midnight, I packed up, grabbed my flashlight, and started out of the woods. As I walked away, my thoughts were on the owls and how I happened upon their nest. This route that I was walking is a well-established wildlife run, and that includes wolves. I was following it earlier this particular year when I spotted the incubating owl's tail sticking out of a broken tree trunk just off the trail. A few hundred yards ahead of the owl's nest were the wolf dens, already occupied with a recent batch of wolf pups. The main den, and several secondary dens, ready to be put to use if something were to happen to the main den. So this night, as I exited the owl photo site, I walked in the opposite direction of the wolf dens. I didn't get very far when the sounds of the night took me by surprise. The wolf pack had plans for the night, and as they left their den site behind, they split up. Of course, I couldn't see them or hear them, but one part of the pack had followed the northern edge of the woods, while the rest had followed the southern edge. While I walked the narrow sliver of woods, which is surrounded by open, wet meadow, the wolves north of me began howling. The quiet nighttime woods erupted in sound as the rest of the pack joined in, and I was right in the middle of it. I just stood there in awe as the bellowing screams and howls were amplified in the darkness. Then they went silent. I exhaled and continued on my way. To this day, I recall that encounter as one of the wildlife highlights of my life. And I often wonder if they were talking about me just a little bit that night. I had always looked at wolf encounters anywhere as fortunate opportunities. Short glimpses, usually, that don't happen very often in Wisconsin. So when they do, they are special. This encounter took place as I was heading out after a morning session on a small great egret nesting colony. These wolves run these wetland trails all the time, but usually at night. When I ran into this wolf, it was clear to me that it was eager to keep moving forward, even though I was in the way. I even decided to move off the trail a couple of times to see what it would do. But each time it lost sight of me, it would retreat. A wise wolf. When I showed myself again, it would stop, contemplate for a bit, and move towards me again. This wolf is likely a member of the pack that runs this area. Several years ago, I filmed their den site, where 6 pups were raised. Throughout that time, I'd seen what I believed to be the entire pack only once. 12 wolves supporting 5 pups. And most of my sightings were of one wolf running the territory, like this one. I'm guessing that this wolf was born after I filmed the den site several years ago. Its white face markings resemble the mother wolf that I filmed bringing food to the pups. And the pattern of its coat has similarities to the father of the pups. Finally, this wolf had had enough. Crossing the water to get to the safety of heavy brush.